Good morning, Jeff. For those who didn't get to read it, as you went through all of the different circumstances surrounding baseball's return at this point, what are the most important thing the fans need to know?
I think optimism, Greeny, is the right word here. And it's optimism in a lot of different and important circles of baseball. It's optimism at the commissioner's office. It's optimism among the players. It's optimism among the owners, executives, even the doctors and medical professionals and politicians who are going to be so integral to getting this off the ground. The important thing at this point is figuring out what plan exactly they're going to try to execute, because Major League Baseball still isn't there yet. What they've always felt is, hey, we've got time on our side. We can see the country reopening now. You know, a quarter of Major League stadiums could theoretically be open at the beginning of May with the lifting of stay-at-home orders if the governors of certain states allow that to happen. So we could potentially and eventually see baseball games played at Major League stadiums this year, but the ideas that most people at this point think are feasible and realistic, Greeny, are the ideas of hub cities. And what I mean by that is you would have, say, a 3-hub city with Phoenix, the Dallas metropolitan area, and the Tampa-St. Pete area. You would have a 5-hub city where you throw in Houston and throw in Miami as well, and you have teams go there. You would group teams in those areas, have games every day, have them in their time zones, have their games played and televised, which makes everybody happy. That's what they're really looking for here.
Yeah, again, if you haven't read the piece, there's a lot of detail like that in it, and all these things seem to be on the table. Now, let's talk about another one of these possibilities, because one official told you, give us 60 days and we could run an amazing tournament. If they don't have the kind of time we're talking about and they need to condense greatly, what would we be looking at then?
So, listen. This was simply an idea I came up with off the top of my head. I don't know if it's been talked about at Major League Baseball. What I do know is that they've been talking about ideas like this. And what you would do is you would start off in 6 hubs. In these 6 hubs, you would essentially put all the divisions, and you would play 4 4-game series against your division opponents. The 2 best teams then would go on and advance to the next round, or you could have the 3 best teams going on and advancing to the next round. It all depends on how many teams you want to be in this playoff format. But let's say you have 6 divisions, you advance 2 teams on to the next round. That's 12 playoff teams. You don't forget about the other 18, though. The other 18 are going and playing a round-robin tournament to get a wild card that allows you to get re-entry back into this playoff. And the 4 teams then from each league with the best record go ahead and advance, and suddenly you get into your normal playoff system where you have 5 teams, the 4 that are advancing plus the wild card, and you just go and have a regular playoff. Now, listen, Tim Kirkjian has said this, and I think he's right. These are all the best of bad options. When you're not playing 162 games or 154 games or a representative schedule, you're not dealing with great options, but that's all we've got right now. And if we can have any baseball this year, which I really believe we're going to, that is better than nothing.
I so thoroughly agree. This is a perfect illustration of another great phrase, which is don't let perfect be the enemy of good. Or in this case, the enemy the enemy of not completely disastrous, right? Let's do the best we can under the circumstances that are presented and go from there. Again, I strongly recommend Jeff's entire piece on ESPN.com lays out all of this and a whole lot more. Jeff Passan, thanks.